What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna go over 10 things American Dad wants you to forget about. Number 10, kisses of death. Anyone who is a dog lover or simply cares for animals might not want to watch this episode. When the Smith family adopts an adorable new dog named Kisses, the audience immediately gets emotionally attached to it, so when we see him get crushed by a hot air balloon with blood and everything, you can't help but get sad. Stan does not accept this death and attempts to pick up what's left of Kisses and brings him to the vet. Here, the only thing the doc can do is make a Frankenstein version of the dog, but even then, everyone knows that it will not be the same. Stan instead decides to blow Kisses to smithereens once more with dynamite, and that's it. Dog-loving viewers might want to forget about this tragic experience. Number 9, racial profiling. When you have a main character as masculine and inconsiderate as Stan Smith, racial insensitivities are bound to occur. Nothing embodies this rash behavior more than the 6th episode of the first season titled Homeland Insecurity. Stan feels threatened by their new neighbors entirely because of their last name, Mamari, and their darker skin tone. Acting to work against the perceived threat, Stan commits such bigoted acts as spying, detaining, and attemptedly searching and interrogating his neighbors. Of course, this was all meant to be a comical exaggeration of discrimination in the country, but the overkill of the joke makes the entire situation feel forced as well as bigoted. Number 8, the Smiths vs. Arabia. In this two-parter, the controversy arose due to the writers poking fun at Saudi Arabian culture to an extreme extent. It is known that women in said culture get treated so poorly and that they are basically a tool for her husband to use. The environment is completely different when compared to all other countries, and in American Dad, they portrayed this. What's even worse is that Stan was all aboard the new culture he was introduced to because he was frustrated that his wife would not listen to him. He even gets a second wife that is much more submissive so that he can be a dominant husband. The writers definitely want you to forget about this set of episodes because it aired way back in the first season, but in today's society, it wouldn't be surprising if an episode like this was stopped from airing. Number 7, the departure of Mike Barker. Mike Barker, one of the show's creators, had been a major contributor to American Dad since the original concept, working as a showrunner. This made it a bit of a shock when Barker announced that he would be stepping down from the show between its 10th and 11th seasons, bringing concern amongst fans that it would set the show in a new direction. The other notable change is that Barker's voice character, Terry Bates, had been written out of the show. Overall, the show was able to continue running smoothly after Mike's separation, but losing such a big part of the operation isn't something that American Dad wants to talk about. Number 6, mommy issues. It's pretty common for most people to have a strong bond with their mother, but in the case of Stan Smith, the relationship is a few steps too far. In the comical and suitably named episode, Oedipal Panties, Stan is reunited with his mother after she returns to the Smith house for a visit. There's no doubt off the bat that Stan cares quite a lot for Mrs. Smith, but we soon get an extreme look at just how abnormal this bond between them is. Roger opens the door of the bathroom to reveal the two sharing a bath together, while Stan excitedly sings a rather unnerving song about a very detailed wash plan for them. This takes Roger back in disbelief, as it must have done to most viewers as well. Most people love their moms, but Stan's unhealthy obsession and creepy actions are what makes the relationship something we'd rather not think about. Number 5, homophobic attacks. It's not uncommon for adult cartoons to use subtle homophobic jokes that, for the most part, don't cause too much damage. But in this one episode of American Dad, the homophobic jokes go way too far. In this episode, viewers watch as Stan Smith goes on a rampage just to prove to himself that being gay is wrong. It begins when Greg and Terry finally decide to have a child and go about it using a surrogate. Infuriated, Stan even goes so far as to compare the future child to dressing up a dog. Eventually, the outlandish cartoon goes even further and we see Stan's plans to kidnap the child and bring him to Nebraska, a state where gay parents do not have any legal rights. In Nebraska, however, he gets into some trouble and a family helps Stan out. The only catch being that the parents are both women. He finally changes his mind and viewers are left with some mixed emotions. Number 4, horse training. This entire situation revolves around a controversial episode in which Roger and Stan purchase a racehorse in hopes of saving the family from economic turmoil. In an act of revenge, Roger convinces Stan that a surefire way to improve the horse's performance is to relieve it sexually. Of course, the ignorant Stan completes the task for the sake of his family, and viewers are almost sure for a split second that they are watching as his face is covered with the end product, although it's soon revealed to actually be Stan washing off. This scene stirred up so much controversy that Fox was actually threatened with a $25,000 fine for the bit. While some audience members may have been unmoved by this incident, there were certainly those who were disturbed enough to never want to watch another episode of American Dad. Its lack of widespread appeal is why American Dad wants to forget about it. Number 3, dropped by Fox. It should come as no surprise that no TV show wants to be let go by their network, and therefore anyone who wouldn't be all too proud of it happening. This was the case for American Dad when their first network host, Fox, canceled the show in 2013. Fox's explanation for this was an attempt to move away from their heavy cartoon series reliance and to focus more on sitcom type shows. Despite this, Fox still aired 3 more episodes at a later time before finally ending their ownership. Fans didn't have to worry too much about it though, as American Dad was quickly picked up by the TBS network for a new season the following year. Needless to say, the audience were thankful that the beloved show was able to quickly find a new home so that the property wouldn't have to die so fast. Number 2, Roger's obsession. Roger may be the weirdest character in the show, likely because he's an alien, but one particular episode claims this to be true. Viewers watch as Roger begins to be obsessed with Haley. Throughout the episode, we see the alien character go to extreme extents to get what he wants, but unfortunately every single attempt is a failure. The situation that takes the cake is when Roger kidnaps Haley and then skins her lover Jeff alive to use as a costume. His hopes were that he could use the skin in order to disguise himself as her husband. Number 1, pedophilic encounter. Out of the offensive and questionable things our cartoon television can joke about, pedophilia is definitely one of those topics that writers have to tread on lightly. In the 42-year-old virgin, the premise of the episode is that Stan has never killed anyone before, so his friends at the CIA try to change that. The side story is Steve and his friends being manipulated by a pedophile that preys on boys. The man makes Steve and his friends oil up and wrestle him all while they wear a one-piece bathing suit. Not to mention the entire scene takes place in a cave. The whole animation is a bit uncomfortable and awkward, but it gets even weirder when Stan comes and saves the day, or at least tries to. Stan tries to shoot the disgusting man, but instead accidentally kills someone else and the pedophile escapes death. And that is it for the video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Valenplana, and I'll see you all later.